woke up and I rolled out of bed. Got dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah! I know this'll be the day. Oh, yeah. Everything will be okay. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing on these streets. Oh yeah! Ain't nobody gonna cry today. Ain't nobody gonna die today. I kiss my cares all away. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Gonna be a good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's beautiful. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. It's a real good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Woo! It's a great, great day. It's a good day. Get up! Can't you see the sun shining? I woke up and I rolled out of bed. Got dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah! I know this'll be the day. Everything will be okay. I kiss my cares all away. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing on these streets. Oh yeah! Ain't nobody gonna cry today. Ain't nobody gonna die today. I kiss my cares all away. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Gonna be a good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's beautiful. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my
Happy Friday. Good to see you guys. Nice to be here with you here at 8:45 on a Friday, a beautiful weather Friday. A Mother's Day pre-Friday? I think that would be the case. Not sure, but Mother's Day is coming up. What would you like for Mother's Day, right? I was listening to something the other day and it said the top things mothers really want. And it was basically like, leave me alone for the day was what they wanted. Like, oh, okay, that's nice. So you just want like no kids, no husband, no anything, just you. That's what you really are looking for. And the second most desired thing was do that same thing except once every month, in addition to just Mother's Day. So that was the second most desired thing, is leave me alone once a month. So, mothers may be overworked and have too many responsibilities, or maybe they just don't like their kids and their spouses. I'm not really sure. I'm just reporting, you're deciding. But regardless, happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. Topics for today are going to be the normalization of a 40 and potentially a 50-year mortgage. It's not like really a real thing, but it's what I'm suggesting and proposing to kind of solve our current problem, and a suggestion that has been made to the National Association of Realtors to consider and see about implementing. So normalization of a 40 or 50-year mortgage. Might be crazy, huh? We'll talk through a couple of things that go there. And then the second topic is, did crypto just get real? Talk about that as well. So Shana is on her way traveling back today, so she'll be back, and on Monday she'll be back in the saddle with us. We do have, as a reminder, show me your listings immediately thereafter, our session here. So please jump over there. We'll chat that link into you so you guys all have that up fresh, but we will be excited to see you for show me your listings just momentarily. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start this first topic and see what we come up with. The normalization of a 40 or a 50-year mortgage, is that coming to you soon? What would it mean? How many people actually pay their mortgage off with equal payments over that amount of time? How many people stay in their home that long? Does this even matter? Is this a way to maybe just lower payments artificially? But when you do that, what's the real effect? So let's kind of discuss what's going on there. We're going to unpack this all and see what's going on. So first, if I say a 40-year and 50-year mortgage, what do you think? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? So I'd like you to chat in and tell me what you think. As soon as I say, hey, what if we just went to a 40 or 50-year mortgage? What do you think about that, guys? Right? So go ahead and chat in your responses there, and then I'm going to continue on. So let's think about this. Well, why do we have a 30-year mortgage now? Why is that the number, right? Why is it that over 20, 25, 27, 34? How'd they pick that number? Why is that the magic number that like this works for all of a sudden, right? So if we kind of think through some of those things and you start to question why 30, then you could also say, why not 40? Why not 50? Right? So let's discuss what goes on with a mortgage, and that might help us lead to why possibly or why not. So what happens with a mortgage is you are making a principal and an interest payment. And with those two things together, there's a total payment that's made. In the beginning of the mortgage, in an amortizing loan, you pay off a rather small amount in the beginning for your principal. And you're paying the majority of your payment is going to be interest. So super small amount. It's amortized, spread out with equal payments over this time frame, so that we have this curve that goes down and eventually your loan is paid off. So the longer you are in your mortgage and you are deeper into this, the more you are paying off as a proportion with each monthly payment. So if you look at your statement and you look at each one, a couple dollars each time goes to the different allocation of these two numbers, and eventually your principal balance drops. So that is only, though, if you stay in the same mortgage and if you continue to do this. If you refinance the loan, okay, then you start over again. You can recast your loan, which I've previously spoken about. I'm a huge fan of recasting, but not necessarily refinancing. So, because then you're like not as deep into the payoff structure. And so there's a lot of things to this. But the whole idea is that there's two components. One component is interest, and that goes to the bank. And the other component is principal. And that is the good part for the borrower. That's the part where they're actually saving or paying off more of their home. Okay? So as I look at this, it's not too much different than the equity you have in your home is more or less an inaccessible, so you can't get to it, source of savings that you now have. Maybe look at it as an additional retirement account in addition to whatever you have with 401ks or anything like that. But that's kind of like this long-term savings that you get by paying off and getting to more quicker. But as you think about this, how long do people really stay in their home? How often do they move? So just think about your clients in general. How many of them are committed to staying in their current property and they said, this is my forever home? And when people even say that, how often is that true? How often do you hear somebody say, this is my forever home? I'm like never leaving here. And I'm going to pass it down to my kids and they're going to stay here. That's like what they used to do with castles, right? Like you never left. But now, does that really happen? With the mobility that we have, with how transient people are, with how often people change jobs in careers and they relocate, is it reasonable now that you have this same structure in place that you intend to stay there? This isn't 1953 and people are staying like in the same place and working for the same company and have a pension. So why are we continuing to do things like it's 1953, right? There's not like one person that works at the steel mill and you come home and, you know, Mrs. Beaver is at your home and she's like cleaning the home, and it's not where we're at, right? There's not like one family car. There's a lot of things going on here. So 40, 50-year mortgage, it's very, very interesting to me. And what you have is a potential to now lower the barrier of entry for housing. And it's one simple move that if you just amortize that loan over a longer time frame. Now what you've done is you've made it so that you pay it off slower. And Stacy would say to me that you are essentially now leasing your home and you're taking away real ownership, and do you really own it or does somebody else? And you know, there's a lot of things to this, and it would go against policies of people trying to pay things off and get to a cash situation as quickly as possible, and it would go against, there's a lot of shrewd people who want to get to where you are like a Dave Ramsey state, where you have cash for everything, right? But how many people actually get there as well? Like living below your means, is that fun? And should we be doing that? Is that like a real thing? Are you losing out on the potential for appreciation in other places in real wealth generation, right? If you're doing that. The Dave Ramsey approach recently would have been pretty much pay off your house and then stay there and whatever that is, but you would not have had a bigger house. You would have been living below your means. So you would have had less appreciation, less capital appreciation in your home. But if you were living beyond your means, you would have had exactly the opposite. You would have had huge appreciation. And everything that he expands upon doesn't work when home prices are appreciating and going up in value so quickly. You should be higher leveraged in all these things. And thus the 40 or 50-year mortgage would allow you to do that. Now, I say to you that the 40 or 50-year mortgage might only be applicable to a person who puts down a certain amount of money, so it is less risky. So I would propose that you would need to require the individual to have 20% down to be able to qualify for a 40 or 50-year mortgage. Then essentially it becomes almost like an interest-only loan, but it's still amortizing. So it's not as bad as interest-only. It just like amortizes super slow, and it would extend the buying power of people, but remove the risk from the bank because now you have 20% down. And I propose that would be something that would really help home affordability But I bet it would actually do the exact opposite. It wouldn't help affordability. What it would now do is encourage further price appreciation and homes to go up even more, because now you could stretch your budget and have more people bidding on homes of that like. Okay? So anyways, that's the 40 and 50-year mortgage. I say that we have a housing crisis more because people want to live in certain places. And what we don't really understand and what we fail to realize is homes have a shelf life, and they have a certain time frame in which they have relevance. And people have patterns of where they want to live and what's going on, and people want to live in newer stuff. And so we have homes that are consistently every year aging out and going out of use, right? And so there's a lot of places that you could live where homes, they're tearing them down because they're aging out, because they're not desired anymore. So what we have is new construction going in, but often we talk about how many new housing starts we have. But what we don't talk about is how many houses are aging out all the time, because those homes were built a series, an age ago. So think about that same time frame, 1950, right? And there was things that were built then. How many people live in a 1950s house? There was dramatically different construction time frames or construction techniques that were used then. And maybe they're better, but maybe those homes are in different places where people don't want to be. And those are aging out and going out of the market. So we're losing places that people would live. So if you talk about home affordability, it's not really that we have a home affordability crisis. It's that we have an issue of people want to live in specific places where they can't afford. They can go to these less desirable locations and live in those, where there's these homes that are being torn down and, going out of style and whatever. So, I don't know. It's just a thing. Anyways, I report to you the 40 and the 50-year mortgage is a possibility with some caveats on it, and just telling you why I think it's possibly a solution to this affordability problem, so people can live in different places where they maybe can't afford. Well, that's all I got for you. Let's go to That's a Wrap. Stacy brings up a really good point. It's just like cars. So in the car industry, you used to have like a 3 or a 4 year mortgage or payment, right? And you'd pay it off over 3 or 4 years. Well, now I don't even know how long those terms are, but I'm seeing advertisements that are like, whoa, that's a long time, right? So people are staying in that car longer because allegedly, right, there's more technology, there's more stuff in it, it's safer, maybe gets better gas mileage apparently. There's a bunch of different things that would go into it. But now the car went through the same thing where you just changed the term and then the car became more expensive. So if you put it in relationship from one to another, how much is a house really worth, right? I was looking at certain vehicles, and the amount of vehicles now that are $30,000 or $50,000 or $100,000 in price. Is your home worth 10 cars? Is it worth 20 cars? Do it in that same relationship and see how much when you bought your home and how much vehicles were, and see how many cars your home cost. Like how many Toyota Corollas or how many F-150s did your house cost and when you bought it? And then do the same calculation now. And should houses actually be even more expensive than they currently are because of that? You're getting like the land as well, and it's good for like a long period of time. I don't know, guys. It is what it is. Today's Friday. It is Show Me Your Listings next. Stacy will probably have a lot more to talk about. She's really smart. She's on top of these types of things, and you should be joining her right now.
woke up and I rolled out of bed. Got dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, I know this'll be the day. Oh, yeah. Everything will be okay. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Hey. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet.